Hey, everybody, it's Tim again, and I am so thrilled today to finally present you the horror host, Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. Of course, it were people like Elvira. She started on a television station, KHJ-TV in Los Angeles back in the day with Elvira's Movie Macabre. And of course, she comes from a rich history of horror hosts over the decade, from Vampira to Svengoolie. Of course, Svengoolie, we still have them around today. And they would present movies on late night TV on Saturday nights for people like me. I personally had Dr. Paul Bearer on Horror Incorporated. I remember sending a clip of my hair into Dr. Paul Bearer to help stuff his pillow for his coffin. Got an autograph picture in return. Great times, man. So let's give this a 360. I'll tell you a little bit more about this this wonderful character, pop culture icon, really, Elvira. Of course, her real name is Cassandra Peterson, and she's had probably the biggest staying power over the years, along with Svengoolie. Mistress of the Dark, again, Cassandra Peterson. She's done her own movies, her own TV shows, and now celebrating her 40 years in the business, NECA has come out with this wonderful retro-style 8-inch figure of Elvira with a costume and some killer accessories. And let me just give you a quick close-up. You're going to get some glare, but of course we're going to get rid of that once we get it out of the package. But look, I love the window boxes. I know some companies, Hasbro, are no longer presenting this stuff in the window box. I know some people love to display their figures in the window boxes, and that's cool. Me personally, I'm an opener. I love to display these things on the shelf, out of the package. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. So again, I am pleased that NECA sent me this sample to review for you. Tough time finding this at brick and mortar. You can get it online though. But again, we have Elvira because we have the Universal Monsters, those people that presented those movies to us when we were growing up. So again, it's only appropriate that I have all of the Universal Monsters that NECA has produced so far, along with this review and unboxing. Okay, here's a look at the Elvira, Mistress of the Dark action figure out of the package. Again, this is a retro style figure from NECA. Generally those are 8 inches in height, and of course they have cloth costumes. This one actually comes with a stand, which is probably a good move. I think if you wanted to, you could work with the feet, but she is wearing high heels, so it's just best to save yourself some time and frustration. If you want to pose her out of the box, then just go with the stand. Now, she does come with 3 accessories and an alternate sculpt, head sculpt, a portrait. Let's give this a 360 look to begin with, though. Figure is just beautiful. I mean, what can I say? It's just so weird because NECA just continues to impress me with every product that they come out with. And, after presenting Elvira in 8-inch form like this, I would love to see the Universal Monsters figures come out in this format as well. But look, I'm going to take what I can get. Don't get me wrong. No complaining here. But it's just wonderful how we're getting this figure now. Now, you're probably wondering, does she actually measure 8 inches? If you hold up this measuring stick, it's actually, and this is on top of the stand, about 8 inches tall. Now, I would imagine that's because of her bouffant hairdo here. If you took that off, that wig, maybe she's 8 inches, but then again, what's the point with that? Now, you're seeing the accessories that this comes with. And this, of course, is a skull / candle holder. And I always try to get this in focus to give you the best possible look. And that's really cool there. Okay. Let's just turn this around here. Spider here. Lots of details on this. This is made of soft plastic for the most part. Okay. Along with that, you have the potion that she's drinking, this glass here, very decorative glass and ornate piece of drinkware. You have the dagger that goes in her belt. And here is the sculpt up close of Elvira, and it is pretty dang cool. It is really spot on. The eyes, the expression, all the way down to the little mole on her face. And again, look at the detailing on the costume. They didn't skimp here. They really did a wonderful job in creating this costume. And here again is a look at, she has the high heels on. And again, that's just easier for posability to do that. Now, what I'm going to do is take that out of there. I can leave the dagger in. I'm going to take off this portrait. There we go. That's snapped off. And this, I love this alternate portrait that they have for her. Try to get that on. There we go. Oh, no. Just sort of hard to match up the peg hole there. There we go. And there it is. And this is cool because this gives the wink look. That, again, I just love it. A lot of the, sometimes portraits, they have dramatically different looks. Sometimes they look a lot the same. This is, I would consider, dramatically different, and it actually brings out personality in the figure. So I really love that as well. Hairstyle is pretty much the same. Again, same bouffant hairdo. So yeah, I would imagine that Cassandra Peterson is just thrilled with this figure from NECA. I certainly know I am, and I'd highly recommend it. Again, thanks to NECA for giving me this sample. Again, let's give you a 360 this time with the other portrait. Figure costs about $34.99 to $39.99, no matter, depending on where you order it from. Online retailers, again, seem to be the place if you want to land this figure. Otherwise, your Walmarts, your Targets, your comic shops, whatever, they may or may not have it. So, if whether you have to pay for free shipping or pay for shipping or not, or get free shipping from some retailers, no matter the case, it is definitely worth it. So what I'm going to do is take a pause and put Elvira in more of a familiar setting, and we're going to get these monsters involved too. Okay, I'm back, and what I have here is what I'm trying to make look like a TV station set where Elvira might be producing, Elvira's movie Macabre, for example. And of course, she's accompanied by all of the Universal monsters that are from NECA. And of course, Elvira is from NECA. And again, I'd like to thank NECA for providing me all these samples here of the Mummy, Invisible Man, Frankenstein, Bela Lugosi as Dracula, and Lon Chaney Jr. as the Wolfman, and of course Boris Karloff as Frankenstein, and the Mummy, Claude Rains there, and of course we have Elvira, and along the line, we're getting great accessory sets from NECA. You can see in the background we have Frankenstein's lab table back there, and we have the Mummy accessory set back there, and I'm still waiting to receive the Dracula accessory set. But sometimes you just gotta, pull pieces from wherever you can to come up with some cool stuff. I mean, look right here. This is basically a cauldron. I have a couple of them. And sorry, Elvira, I have your alternate portrait in there. I got a little TV set from Basic Fun. This clapboard actually is from James Cameron's Aliens action figure from NECA. And of course, I have a director's chair, which the Mummy is sitting in right now, and that came from a Muppets release. And over here we have Elf's popcorn. Of course, that's another NECA release. So it's kind of fun to bring all this stuff together to create some sort of diorama. One more piece that I want to point out. I thought let's give Elvira a seat and show you. This is actually a piece of doll furniture that I ordered online, and I'll have a link below if you're interested in something like that. Actually, it is more for scale for 6-inch action figures. Again, Elvira is 8.5 inches, so it's a little small for her, but you know what? it works. It works for what we're doing here today. So I like this. It's got this felt thing. It's not too expensive. It has this Victorian sort of Gothic sort of feel. So that's why I ordered that particular piece. Let's just see I'm just going to sit Elvira here for a second and pop the mummy on here. Probably works a little bit better for him size-wise. Okay. Yeah, that's more in scale with him. But again, I'm thinking a diorama of a TV, a setting, some set pieces when Elvira would be hosting one of her horror shows. So, again, I thought it was only appropriate, being that Elvira is a sort of horror host that actually introduced us to all of these characters all those years ago. So that's some pretty cool stuff. Now, size-wise, again, let me put Elvira on a stand here so she can stand properly, and I will do some size comparisons with some of the Universal Monsters figures here. Okay, let's make sure she's standing properly. All right. Again, I measured her before. She's about 8 inches tall. Whoops, and there goes the Invisible Man. Frankenstein's monster is about 7 inches tall. So again, the figures aren't exactly in scale. Okay. We got about 7.5, 7.75 for Frankenstein's monster. And the head sculpts, maybe just a little bit smaller than Elvira. Okay, but again, this stuff still works. It still works for me. Let's take Dracula, for example, and put him over next to Elvira. Again, we're looking at probably a much bigger size difference here. And the head is clearly smaller. But again, it's my hope that somehow NECA, like they did with their It Pennywise figures, they produce them in a 7-inch scale line, action figure form, and then they came out with some cloth retro versions. So, let's just hope that they do that. Look, again, right now, I'm happy that we're getting the 7-inch scale figures that are all plastic for the most part. And maybe, who knows, after this year, there's a lot of big releases coming this year. Bride of Frankenstein, Creature from the Black Lagoon. We have the Lon Chaney Sr., London After Midnight. And then, of course, Phantom of the Opera. So there's a lot of stuff coming out. So hopefully at some point, we're going to see some reproductions of these action figures in 8-inch scale. For now, though, we have the wonderfully accurate, screen accurate. The portrait is spot on. That's the way I like it. And it's Elvira, Mistress of the Dark from NECA. Again, thank you to NECA for providing this sample for me. My name is Tim Lammers. I review cool movie toys. So please subscribe to this channel. Please like this video. Please share it with all your monster movie loving friends. And I hope to be back with another monster movie toy review very soon. Happy toy hunting, everybody.